by a principal that I had one of the principals that I had at the middle school before I transferred over here. He because I felt like I wanted to impact a larger group of students, and I still wanted to teach at least one band class. I don't know how I was going to work that out.
Right.
Work that out, but then I saw like there was one teacher who was retiring, in the following school year. So it was that school year and one more year, and she would just make worksheets, and that was it. And the principal, he would express his frustration how if you want to get rid of her, he couldn't because of so many union rights they have. Like they have to put him on a 2-year improvement plan, so you'd just be wasting your time.
Yeah.
And what can you do? He used to say this is a special place too. If you're not going to give your all, you shouldn't be here. And in the corporate world, they will not take that. You go.
Right.
You don't produce in a day.
Yeah.
You go.
Right.
You get your papers, right?
Yes. So you said a few times that this is a special place. Can you expand a little bit on what does that mean?
Very little support from the parents. You're dealing with kids who suffer a lot of trauma, more than usual. And I would think even though kids from all backgrounds, go through their teenage mishaps or whatever it is. There's just like it's difficult to hold concerts, not concerts. I mean events after school because there's the safety. There's the safety issue, and then there's citywide district. I mean it is what it is. We had a history of corruption or suspicion of corruption in the past. Not saying that there's now. There's just a lot of very variables. You have a lot of just staff members, not just limited to teachers who I think they've had better days. I think they're just kind of giving up. Like, what's the point?
Okay. So what has contributed to that culture where you feel that?
I think they've just been beaten down.
Yeah. By who?
Just society, just the circumstances around here, all those different variables. Like this open house that just passed, I called no parents, and I got two parents to show up each day. It was 2 days, right? And in the past, I especially called the parents of the students I was concerned, and I'll get an average of 10 to 20 parents.
And that's changing, you think?
Yeah, because I put in the work. So you have to be willing to put in the work.
Right.
It's that more ethical value that you have. Why you decided to be a teacher. You just can't show up and do your lecture and leave. It's not.
Yeah.
This place is not. It's not cut out like that.
It's a lot more work to do in this setting, you believe?
In the setting, yeah, and maybe in all settings and. Although I can't really speak for other school districts, other areas, but I think in general, teaching is not like that.
Come in, leave, and come in, teach, and leave.
Yes,
it's not that. No. Okay. So, what specifically do you find the most rewarding about working in this type of environment?
Putting in, for me, I work with most of my students 4 years in the music program, and seeing them go through the struggling 9th grader to graduating and getting accepted to college and going. I have yet to have them graduate. I haven't been here that long, but I have one that might graduate in June or May from UC Irvine.
Oh, yeah.
And I had him since 6th grade.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had him since 6th grade, and then I transferred over here when he was a junior, so I was able to
watch
work
the
with
progression
him.
with him.
Yeah, and that was that was my main motivation for coming to Centennial. That a lot of the students that I was working with at the middle school were coming over here, and there was just getting into trouble. They were changing, and I felt like the band director, from all the complaints that I got that was here, was not really concerned with that. And I will see like his after school rehearsals. He'll just have the kids just do sectionals. So sectionals, like the trumpets practice over here. Each section of the band just get together and practice. Like, that's fine, but they need guidance.
Right.
Because you can't, if you leave them more than 15 minutes, they're going to stop and get on their phones.
Yeah.
And that's not effective. It's just...
So it's just this other person was leaving students to their own devices to practice, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like all the rehearsals were structured like that.
Interesting. What do you find the most challenging about working in this environment? The most challenging?
The apathy. Like, it's just like a big dog crowd of kids who just look really depressed. But they couldn't, and I thought it was me, but I've had people come in here, like I have different nonprofits that bring coaches and stuff, and they see it. I was like, why are you all like just so somber? Just yeah. But that could be how this generation is. I don't know if it's limited to
just this location.
Yeah, like they're not very celebratory. They don't like celebrate. Yeah, like school spirit.
Celebrating and
Maybe it's not our personality. Here.
Okay.
But I know, like, I have a friend who teaches in Montebello, and they have the students on their own form a committee. So if it's like Valentine's coming up, they'll decorate the room. If it's Easter, they'll decorate the room. There's always a celebration or something.
Those students in that district have taken ownership of their school, and that's just not here.
Not to that level. I do have one or two. I always have like one or two. Usually the girls, they say, "Hey, look, can we put up the Christmas tree?" Because one year I got a bunch of stuff, and they'll put up lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ownership is the key word. That's what I don't see. That sense of pride and ownership. Like I'll tell all my students, do not let anybody who's not a member in the band.
Right.
Because there's a lot. We meet a lot. We're a lot together, and so there's people feel very free, like they're home. So they'll put their phone down, they'll put their wallet down, they'll leave their instrument out. You get these outsiders that don't know the expectations and the culture of the band, and it's just a fear of a phone going missing. Or I have had some. They come in, they'll start banging on the drum. They're just curious, maybe they're not. I mean, when they do that, I say, "Hey, you're in. You pass your audition."
Okay.
So is it third period or fourth period?
Yeah.
And they go, "Huh?"
Like, what do you mean? Wait a minute. So, how do you work through these challenges? Did I just ask that question? How do you work through these challenges? Those things that are challenging. Did I just ask that? How do you work through them?
Well, maybe you did. Well, I try to pace myself because that's where the burnout.
Yeah.
That's where the burnout comes. So whenever I feel the burnout, I look at the positive things. I focus on the positive, and the negative I just let it sit there until I ride out the wave.
Okay.
But I don't completely ignore it because if you give the option of the kids of failing or passing, they're going to fail.
Yeah.
And if you have that mentality, then this is not the place for you, because we don't need people like that here.
So you're saying if you give the kids the option to fail, they will?
Yeah, so a lot. They're not afraid of enough.
Okay.
Especially the younger ones. Maybe the seniors.
Yeah.
The juniors and seniors, they get it a little more, but the freshmen, they're still like,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I'll eat a whole chocolate right before bedtime. Who cares? I'll eat hot Cheetos and a soda for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. You're right. I understand that. Hot Cheetos and a soda for breakfast. I've seen that many times. Okay. Next question. Do you feel your school values your expertise and vision of learning for your students?
I think so.